The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. That is crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
It's time! No, not for that yet, but time for our weekly stop with the Outlaws, and we're back for Saturday night short track racing in the USA. The Bootleg Racing League heads back to Old Sobo for tonight's action. Flying over Old Dominion, Virginia is for lovers, baby. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Bootleg Racing League on the global SimRacing channel and iRacing Live. Sean Ambrose here, along with Adam Young, high up in the press box to bring you all of the action tonight back in the production nerve center of GSRC as the hardest working man in sim motorsports broadcasting, the one and only Joe Peak, twisting and tweaking the dials for us tonight. And of course, the Ansel Adams of iRacing photos and video, the Mr. Dougie Beard, our much sought after camera guru. Adam, last week, J.R. Shepherd keeps on keeping on with another victory. It was a bit of a fleeting moment for Donnie Moore as once again he finds himself the bridesmaid and loses another point in the championship race. 3 races left and plenty left to fight for here. JR can't slip and Donnie, well, he can't stop chasing. Where does the story take us tonight in South Boston, Virginia, Adam?
Well, you know, for the thousands of people in attendance and the millions of people watching at home, South Boston's one of those tracks that has a lot of history behind it. I mean, it used to host, back when they actually called Cup racing, Grand National racing, and all that. You were going back into the 60s and 70s now. It used to hold, as you know it now, Cup races. And last time that happened was about 71. The Busch Series ran here. Then it was the Busch Series. Then it was, I already forgot what it was. Now it's the Xfinity Series. Of course, that ran here in about 2000. One of the classic games that you found, I think it was NASCAR Racing 2 expansion pack way back in the day. So we're at South Boston today, 0.4 of a mile speedway with 12 degrees of banking in the corners. This place is tight. It fits every single definition that you are going to find of the term bull ring. And with that, let's go and take a couple laps around South Boston.
Hey guys, this is Bryce Whitson coming to you from inside the Global Sim Racing channel SK Modified here at South Boston Speedway. We're going to go out here on the track and take a qualifying lap and talk about this short little track. So we're going to come around here through 3 and 4 and get us a nice good run coming to the green. Right after the start finish line, we're just going to tap the brake a hair to get the car down into the corner, and then we're going to drive off a little bit late right here to get a good run down the backstretch. Again, this is a really short track, so a lot's happening real fast. So as we're coming around here after our qual lap, you're pretty much going to be able to run laps like that for around 10 to 15 laps at the beginning of the race with little to no change in lap time for the most part. As the tires start to wear though, it's going to start getting a little tight. And so one trick you can use is to use a little bit of trail braking going into the corner here, and then also get that left front tire right down on that yellow line, and that'll really help loosen the car up in the center of the corner. Now you're not going to have any issues with fuel here because for a full tank you're going to get somewhere around 250 laps with the fixed setup. So you're not going to really run into any issues there, but you are going to want some tires for sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here around turn 3 and 4, and we're just going to take and dive right down here onto this pit road, chalk her down to 35 miles per hour, and make a pit stop. So that's a couple laps around South Boston Speedway in the SK Modified.
There's a recorded lap around South Boston Speedway. But to really get an idea of what the track is looking like right now, let's talk to the champ, J.R. Shepard, in number 98 Ford Motorcraft SK Modified. J.R., buddy, you've already got 2 wins here tonight in the street stock of the truck. Is number 3 in order here on the Modified?
If it is, Sean, it's going to be extremely tough. The track is definitely slick tonight, especially in these modifieds. So I think you're definitely going to see multiple groove racing, and I think ultimately that outside groove is going to prevail.
Man, the trucks were sliding all over the place. It seemed like that the truck was a handful around here. According to what you just said, it sounds like the modified going to be a little bit of a handful too. Multiple groove racing sounds like a great time. The only thing I'm concerned about that here is, boy, the exits and the entries of these turns tend to bottleneck just a bit. How do you intend to combat that?
Yeah, you're definitely right. Especially up off of 2 and 4, it really closes in on you, especially when someone's underneath you. So it's going to be one of those races that's tough. You got to try to be smart with how you race everybody, and just be cautious, especially early on.
Well, listen, Donnie Moore, just a couple of points behind you, and I know he had a personal matter earlier that he had to attend to. It doesn't look like he's going to be back. Or no, there he is. I see Donnie. Donnie made it. So, you two get to start from the back of the field based on your finish last week. You looking forward to racing him hard tonight?
Yeah, for sure. This is one of the tracks that I feel like guys like Donnie Moore and Philip Temples are really good. Kind of have an advantage over everybody just based on their driving style. So it's going to be a tough race trying to stay around those guys and get by them. And yeah, just hopefully we have a good night. Hopefully we put on a good show for everybody that's watching.
All right. So I had a theory last week, and last question here. I want you to get back in the car. Were you sandbagging early this season? Come on, tell the truth.
No, I don't try to sandbag. You caught me off guard with that question, Sean.
He does that to everybody.
Yeah, I told you before. I said, I told JR a little while ago. I said it'll be all softballs, no tough questions. And then I asked him if he's been sandbagging. Well, JR, listen, hey. go get in the car, put a few more laps in, and try and get yourself back to victory lane tonight. Hopefully we'll get another chance to talk to you. Okay, buddy?
Sounds great, Sean. You guys have a good broadcast tonight.
All right, JR, you have a great race. Adam, JR Shepard never gets boring to talk to, man. He's a good one, and he's awful fast. Remember that, okay? So we've introduced, we've talked to the driver, and now let's talk about and let's look at the points battle that we've got going, because it's really, really tightened up here at the top.
Yeah, it really has, especially after last week, kind of losing just a little bit more ground. Donnie Moore losing a little bit more ground to J.R. Shepard, that is. J.R. Shepard just on a hot streak, but he's hanging on. 2-point lead, but as you know, Sean, this is one of those tracks, this bull ring type track where we very well could see, multiple car accidents. Anything could change. We could see this point standing chart here flipped up on its head, but it's definitely a two-man show right now with 3 races to go between J.R. Shepard and Donnie Moore. Lowell Joel in third position, Jeff Sharp in fourth, and showing up on the top 5 here for tonight is going to be Dustin Powers. So got to ask him if he has any relation to Austin Powers there next time we talk to him at some point. But overall here for tonight, I think that points are definitely going to play a big role.
Dustin Powers, a newcomer to the league this season, he's done nothing but climb up the ladder, and he came from 2 spots back to finally get here into the top 5. Watch out for that guy. He's looking at possibly getting well inside of that top 5 before the season's over. He's got 3 races left to do it. Now, currently here in practice, he's not very fast. He's towards the back end of the field, but that's practice. Race pace could certainly be a different story, but he's been pretty hot, and to get yourself up in the top 5, a newcomer around here, that means he's definitely a guy we should look at. Now, there is no qualifying, of course, so we're in practice right now, and we've introduced the track. We talked to a driver, reviewed the point standings. Why don't we talk a little bit about the details of the race?
Yeah, of course, the car here is the SK Modified. The setups are fixed, and as you mentioned, there's no qualifying here because we're going to invert the top 10 points. I mean, that gets crazy. There's going to be no scheduled pit stop. Of course, we're going 100 rounds around, something like that, around South Boston here for tonight. No tire changes as well. Now, these guys, this is going to be important to note here tonight, Sean, is that these guys do get 1 fast repair, and we were talking a little bit about this earlier about the truck race that happened before this and everything else and you're seeing it here, especially in practice, where these guys are really loose from the center off of these cars. That fast repair, we could see multiple car accidents because we really don't hit anything really hard enough here that it might end your race, even with the fast repair.
True. This is something we talked about. Yeah, you don't. It seems like you never find enough speed to hit hard enough to totally wipe the car out. Now, I'm going to allude to something JR was talking about when we talked about turn 2 and turn 4. Man, the exit off here, very, very tricky. It's a balance of throttle management and in turning, and it doesn't always work out, and that could be trouble. Especially if we get into that multiple groove racing like we talked about. We could definitely see a lot of action cars getting tangled up. One of the things about the modified is the wheel hop, of course. When you climb another opponent's wheel and what it does to the car, and sometimes it finds you on your lid. Well, you may not get much damage if you're on your lid, but if you're on your lid, you've got a tow to get back to the pit. So, that could be an issue.
Yeah, it really can, and that's something you see in real life out of these cars. It's something you're going to see here for tonight. We've already seen it a couple of times in practice. Actually, with the guy there right behind Clip Dickert, Ryan Detzler has already had a couple incidents here in practice that he's already had to try to overcome. Of course, 4th in the point standings. Wow, I'm just getting tongue-tied again tonight. It's going to be another one of those nights. Oh, you should have seen me on the morning news this morning. I was hilarious. But one thing I do want to point out, though, as far as the speeds here so far in practice, Sean, is you got Donnie Moore right now leading the charts. That's 14.438. And I think you already go down to 4th place, which we had a second ago with Ryan Detzler, 4.485. So this is going to be a very close competitive field here. And I think that JR hit the nose on the head when he was talking about the outside line. Are we going to be able to see that outside line come in? Are we going to be able to see it rubber in? Is it going to be competitive? It might be the only way to be able to get around somebody without having to use a chrome horn.
True. Now, we do start with a 30% track state. What does that mean? Well, it simulates the fact that there is about 30% use on the track before we actually get in here. Now, they've been throwing down practice here for 30 minutes, and so there is a little bit of rubber on the track. It'll take a little bit of a commitment early by a few drivers to get some work done up top. We'll see how soon or how early in this race that develops. But I'm going to go with JR. If JR says there are going to be multiple grooves, I believe JR. Now, Adam, I put you on the spot. I know you haven't done a lot of races over here in the Bootleg Racing League, but who do you like tonight?
Well, been watching him a little bit. JR brought him up. I want to say Philip Temples. I think that he's going to be. I think ultimately, I think he'll start up a little bit higher up in the field than the rest of the guys. I think he's going to be able to try to get away from some of the chaos a little bit early, where those other guys, they might have to try to go through a little bit of trouble. But Philip Temples is fast in this car. We know he is, and I think he has a pretty decent shot here tonight.
The difference between the pole right now, I'm sorry, not the pole, but the fastest lap in practice, and I don't know, go all the way back to 13th, I think is, what is that, a tenth of a second, Adam? So, a lot of fast cars here tonight. Who's going to be that wins this race is going to be the one that stays out of trouble, I think. I really can't wait to see the side-by-side racing that JR thinks will happen. Honestly, I think Donnie Moore's got to win this race tonight if he's got any chance of staying in this championship. We'll see, but I'm not gonna make it an official pick. I'm just gonna leave it at what I said. Donnie Moore has to win this race tonight. I think this is a must-win for him. So we'll see how well he fights from the back of the pack there with J.R. Shepard here in the early stages of this race. Now, caution. I'm sorry. Practice, not caution. Adam,
you saw the yellow light and you immediately thought caution. That's okay.
Adam,
we might see that quite a bit here tonight.
I've picked up the bug you're dealing with right now. I'm just stumbling all over my tongue. Okay.
It's contagious, I tell you.
Yeah, let's get to the grid here, and David Loomis is going to be your pole sitter tonight with Jeff Kendrick on the front row.
Ryan Detzler and John Hain going to be starting on row 2.
The number 5, the boss, Lowell Jewell, will be starting 5 tonight, and Dustin Power is going to be right there with him in 6th.
John Holcomb and Donnie Moore, 2 guys to keep an eye on, going to be in row 4.
All right, and then row 5 is going to be J.R. Shepard there on the inside, Brian Dean on the outside.
And then going into row 6, you'll find Matt Hoos and then Jeff Sharp. And I'm sorry, I want to say I was wrong. I made a mistake. Philip Temple's actually starting in the back, so it makes me almost want to rethink my pick there, Sean.
No, don't give up on Philly Two Knuckles. He's going to start 13th tonight, right along Tim Shinotsky. Welcome back, Tim. Tim is back with us tonight, and you take the last row, buddy.
Yeah, and that's going to belong to Clip Dickard and Kurt Smith here. So, pretty exciting field. 16 cars on the grid.
All right, Adam. It's Chip Dickard. I actually knew a guy that was nicknamed Clip when I was in high school, and I can assure you, Clip is not here. So
did I say Clip?
I think a couple times you said Clip Dickard, which is funny.
The streak continues, stumbling over myself. Thanks.
We may have to saddle him with that nickname. Actually, that is kind of funny. But yeah, true story. I did have a friend. He's still a friend, but nickname was Clip. So, all right, here we go. Pace car pulling in. David Loomis going to lead him out. The green flag is out. Let's go. David Loomis on the hammer down to the corner. Ryan Detson right behind him, already checking up, and
already an accident in the back of the field.
Oh, Holcomb gets in trouble there, and
staying green so far.
And that was with J.R. Shepard at him that he got into. Oh no.
I have to see if JR ended up with any kind of accident like that. It looked like JR just got into the back of him.
Uh-oh, we got trouble. Holcomb down there on the bottom still having trouble trying to get off the track.
Oh, and with as narrow as this track is, that could be a big problem for him.
He finally gets off the track. Let's look at the replay here on the start. What happened? I think it starts with Holcomb. I'm not sure what happens. We'll get right back to the race. We're still green.
Yeah, he ends up getting tagged back.
Boy, and I got to be honest, I missed it, so I'm not exactly sure how he got around. But he's right there in front of JR. Here's the start to get going. There's Holcomb right there, the 69 down at the bottom, the black and pink car. Just, he seemed to check up just a little bit, and JR got in the back of him, and then JR hits him. Surely JR going to have a little bit of damage on that modified, but Loomis up front screaming away right now. Got Jeff Kendrick, Ryan Detzler behind him. Loomis has already opened it up to about 3/4 of a second. Nice start for him, is making it tough for everybody behind. Holcomb finally gets back out on the track, and he's right up in front of our leaders as they come through turn 3 and 4. Now, what did that do to J.R. Shepard? Well, J.R. is stuck back at 13th right now. He has lost the front of this field, and I don't see any damage on that SK, but, you know, you never know how that car may be turning. He took a shot right on the front end of that SK, so there could be trouble there for him. There's a battle on the screen. Detzler, Kendrick going at it. This is for second place. And Detzler has overtaken him. Adam will be back with us in just a few minutes. I got the call. Great race here going. Picking up Dustin Powers. He is in 6th. Donnie Moore attacking. Donnie moving up through the field. Oh, we got trouble. Our first yellow. Detzler, we're in trouble. Oh, no. Let's see if we can pick up exactly what happened there. I think it started with Detzler. Oh, boy, he spins it by himself coming off of 4. Or was that off of 2? Sorry, out of turn 2. You'll see the car start to come around. He hits that wall up and over on his lid. What a mess for Detzler. That is our first caution of the night. 10 laps in. Tough break for Detzler. On board with him here. He's sawing logs on that wheel, and oh boy, up and over. I think Detzler is gonna need to take that one fast repair he's got sitting and wait for him. We'll see what he decides to do here. So far, staying on track. It must still be steering okay. So Detzler's going to stay in the car on the track. Let's see where we're at here. At the caution, David Loomis is your leader. John Hine in 2nd. Jeff Kendrick in 3rd. Lowell Jewell hanging out in 4th. He's moved up a spot. Dustin Powers up to 5th. There's Donnie Moore. Finds himself in 6th place. Brian Dean up 3 spots already to 7th. Jeff Sharp moving through the field. He's at 8th. And Tim Shanowski in 9th. And Philip Temple sitting there in 10th. So Phil already got himself into the top 10. Looks to maybe get more out of it. Wasn't a bad start to the race. We had a nice run going. Honestly, though, boy, we probably should have had a caution flag there on that incident to get us started. And for whatever reason, we didn't get it. Sometimes iRacing throws them, and sometimes it doesn't. John Holcomb going to get that wave around as he goes around the field. The Lawrence Towing SK modified. I think he's going to be okay. Adam, wasn't a bad start.
No, at the very least, able to get going there for at least a few laps before that first caution. Just as you mentioned, just a tough break for Ryan there, and but that's kind of the exact thing. What just happened to Ryan is the exact kind of thing I'm worried about here tonight.
All right, Loomis going to restart him from the point, right exactly where he started. Pace car going to peel off right here. Loomis going to back him up just a bit. Yeah, Loomis waited. Now he's on the hammer. Kendrick side by side behind. Got to be careful back there. Loomis breaks away clean. Going to lead this first lap of the restart. Come around for lap 17. Hine and Kendrick wheel to wheel as they come off of turn 4.
That's exactly what Loomis wants to see in his rear view mirror right now. Try to get as much of a gap with those guys racing side by side as you can, and I think the honeymoon's over there.
Well, I'll tell you what. Honeymoon is not over for Dustin Powers, man. He is still moving up through this field. He's in fourth. Here comes Donnie Moore, though, looking to make a move on him again. Donnie gets down to the inside. Now, let's talk about multiple groove racing that JR was talking about. Can Dustin Powers work with this? Doesn't look like it so far. He drops right down in front of Brian Dean, literally just cuts the nose right off him there.
So far, I mean, if we're going to see multiple grooves, somebody's going to have to get up there and start trying to do it. Right now, it's almost like an old-fashioned Bristol race. Everybody wants to get to that bottom line as fast as they possibly can. Of course, as soon as I say that, Temples is trying to do something with it right there on the outside. And it seems to be really the only guy that's really trying to do something. So, hey, go Temples. You're my pick. Yeah, make that outside line work for you early.
Well, he is, and he's kind of diming it off, which is not a bad idea. He is committed to it right now, and boy, just behind him, you see the 98 of J.R. Seckler starting to kind of work his way through here. He's got Jeff Sharp in between him. Phil Temples is looking pretty good there on the top side. I think JR is watching what he's doing, and sometimes imitation is the best form of flattery there.
Ooh, as soon as you say that and start talking about him, he rides that wall for a second.
Phil side by side with Lowell right now.
Oh, he's back into it again. That's always been my personal problem in both these modifieds and the tour modifieds is losing track where that right side is and just brushing the wall like that lap after lap. And he's kind of stuck in that streak right now.
Yeah. Phil's beating it up pretty good on the right side right now, too. He's got to be careful here. He doesn't want to keep doing that. He does finally pull off a pass on Lowell Jewell, though. That puts Phil up to 8th.
Seeing Jeff Sharp here trying to do something with that outside line now also.
Yeah, Tim Shinosky working with it just a bit, too. Always good to see the Shinosky boys back. Tim's here tonight.
JR just got a little loose there coming out of 4, so a little bit of a almost heart attack moment for him, but he's able to get that thing going straight, didn't lose any positions.
Not sure exactly what happened to Matt Hoos, but I do see he's off the track and looks like he's taking his car behind the wall already.
Yeah, he had a tough break last week there at Southern National also, so tough to see for him.
Phil Temples is going, baby. He is making this outside line work, and he now is... Oh, and I jinxed him. He locks him up.
He saves that car, though. That was an incredible save out of him.
Oh, Loomis is in the wall. Loomis is in the wall. Oh, and everybody's trying to get by. Loomis is in the wall, and no caution flag. How did he get up there? Oh, he just got wild coming out of turn 4. And he stayed up in that wall to let his fellow competitors get by. That wall is kind of a magnet sometimes. You get stuck up there and you'll climb it. Finally, Loomis off the wall and in the pit.
I think when he hit the wall, it broke something, and he's going to call tonight too. Because that he brushes the wall. The next time he goes to the corner, it just does not turn for him.
Okay, man, I'll tell you what. This Phil in the wall again.
Yeah, and see that's where I was getting at with Phil. We keep seeing him do that, and his contacts that he's had with the walls, I'd almost say were harder than what Loomis has had. So he's really got to be careful with those repeated wall contacts at this point.
He just picks up another position, gets by Dustin Powers like he was standing still, honestly. And Tim Shinosky up there leading the way for Phil. Man, they're going around Donnie Moore. Tim really just powered past Donnie Moore. And now, there goes Phil Temples. Wow.
Well, Phil, if you're watching this broadcast after the race, the guy that doubted you, that was my twin. That was my evil twin, and I killed him. It's all me now.
Now, John Hine is currently at the point after Loomis's trouble.
Oh, Tim Shinosky gets in the wall right in front of Phil.
Man, these guys are really pulling a lot of concrete in the passenger side window tonight.
And Shinosky even gets a little bit loose there, coming off 2.
Man, well, Phil's tired of following now. Working on this move on Shinosky. Got him on the outside, and man, he's going to clear him. Man, Phil is just flying around the center of this track.
Harry Gant must be so proud.
Great Harry Gant reference. Love it. Yeah, man. You talk about big movers in this race. Well, it's been Philip Temples and Tim Shinosky. They've come all the way from the back.
Yeah, don't forget Philip started 13th. Tim Shinosky started 14th, so that's pretty close to being shotgun on the field at that point. They were only 1 row away from the back, so definitely big movers.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. It's a long race.
Ooh.
We're about to hit the halfway point. Is Phil going to have enough tires at the end to hold off these guys behind him? We'll see.
He's driving. I think the biggest concern I see out of his tires, I know he's going fast, but typically that outside line can sometimes be easier on tires. And I don't have enough experience at South Boston, probably one of the few tracks I don't, that to be able to tell you exactly. But the concerning part for me for his tires, he's going to make a play on the lead right here.
Yep.
See if he's going to do anything with it. But his concerning part with the tires is just how much he's sliding off these corners and back in the wall.
And he wraps it again. Now, if your car is turning as good as Phil's is, you're probably driving it off the right rear pretty hard there. Okay, and that's my concern. Once he loses, man, Phil, you're killing me, man. On the wall again. Here comes Kendrick down below.
That last coming off 2 there, he's almost dirt tracking that thing off 2, and so hashtag South Boston Dirt confirmed, something right there.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you look behind Phil Temples in this shot here, you see several cars looking up at the higher side of the track, and it's a little bit of learning going on from this field.
Here he comes again on John. That 75 Budweiser machine is under threat from the 12 of Philip Temples once more. Philip just cannot get the runoff that he needs right now. There he goes. He actually does get. We got a wreck down the middle of the front straightaway. Cautions on the speedway.
Oh, Donnie Moore. Oh, Donnie Moore has a wreck, and it was with Dustin Powers. Oh no. I think, what happened here? Let's look at it on the replay. They get side by side. Boy, they make slight contact. Donnie gets around, hits that inside wall, and he did hit it hard. The car smoking really, really bad. Donnie out there trying to get it turned around. He finally does. Obviously, he's going to need to come in for that one fast repair.
Yeah, we'll get the ride on board here with Dustin Powers as it happens. And Dustin gets a run and just, there's really not much you can do at that point.
I'm thinking maybe Donnie just didn't know he was that close, or Dustin didn't know he was that close, one or the other. But boy, it results in a wreck for Donnie, and boy, he was in good position ahead of J.R. Shepard. That's really, really going to hurt. He's getting his fast repair. Well, let's take a look at where we're at. John Hine is your leader after at the 50 lap mark.
Okay, keep in mind, he was your leader by maybe a few inches over Philip Temples when that caution came out. Just so Philip Temples is going to be coming out of the gate hard on this, and guess where he gets to start on the restart?
Yeah, he's going to be on the top side, which, if you're picking lanes, which we don't do here in the Bootleg Racing League, I think he'd want to start exactly where he's going to be. So now Shinosky, on the other hand, back there at third, is going to have to start on the inside, and he's going to have Jeff Kendrick on the outside there, and that should be an interesting restart. Row 3 on this restart will be Dustin Powers and J.R. Shepard. Another guy, J.R., getting to start on what is starting to look like the preferred line on this track, Adam.
It is. One thing I want to bring up here real quick. I was riding along with John Hahn on my own replay over here, and when Donnie Moore started trying to get himself turned around, it was right when the leaders were coming up on him, and John brushed the wall just a little bit, thinking he might have to avoid Donnie Moore, and on his right front suspension, it caught the wall a little bit. We're going to have to see if that's going to impact him here on this restart. He may have a little bit of damage that he doesn't know about yet.
Yeah, well, the unseen damage is the damage you got to worry about, right? All right, so they are lined up, coming down the back stretch into 3 now. Adam, it's time to rock and roll once again. John Hahn going to get to start him this time. How's he going to do? Well, he's going to get right on it. On the pedal, across the line. Philip Temples stays right where he wants to be, and look at that run he gets off the 2. Right up to the bumper there a time.
And John wisely gets up to the top lane, kind of tries to stop that momentum from Philip Temples there a little bit, but it's not going to hold him off for very long. Back on the outside of him, running side by side.
Phil braking a little bit late.
Yeah, he's got the edge here. He had the lead that time by. First lap led for Philip Temples. These guys are definitely now dicing for position, but they're all dicing for position behind your new leader, Philip Temples. As John Hahn is trying to get back to him, he just cannot quite get there. Gets a little bit loose off too, but he's going to be under attack here for Tim Shinoski's caution back on the speedway.
It's going to be contact with, I believe that was Chip Dickert and the 6 of Kurt Smith. Boy, they get hooked up in a bad way. Dickert gets stuck up on the wall. We're finding it on the here's the replay now. Dickert in the 04. Boy, that
Yikes.
hurts. Yeah, and boy, that's a mess. Kurt had to take a tow. Here's another angle here on board with Chip Dickert.
He got completely high-sided on that wall. You don't say that very often in iRacing, but he was high-sided on that wall. He could do nothing once he got up there.
Yeah, I don't know if there was something there for Chip. He took a look down on the inside, and it resulted in that little bit of contact. That's a tough deal right there. Both cars needing to pit after that. Well, I didn't think attrition would be a big deal here tonight, but it certainly has been so far.
You know, I always harken back to these old stock car races and everything. Well, old to me, stock car races. And this is one I've never had a chance to reference on any GSRC broadcast that made me think of it. 1995, Ted Musgrave at Martinsville, where he got up on the pit wall there. And I think that if I remember right about that, that's the next year they came back at Martinsville and had the higher standard pit walls. They had really short pit walls up until that point.
Adam, I'm impressed. I barely remember who Ted Musgrave is. Man, that's,
he was driving I believe he was driving the number 16 Family Channel car.
He was. So a little Musgrave love. I'm not taking credit for that. That was from our director, Joe Pete, throwing that one down. I'm not getting beat up for that reference. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so note to self, Sean is not falling on a sword for this one.
Well, like I said, that's a good callback, though. Ted Musgrave, man. Boy, that's digging deep into the NASCAR well, man.
Yeah, that's about as deep as I'm going to go, because I was about 11 then. So.
Well, you're absolutely right, though. That was the number 16 Family Channel car. I think that was that owned by Rush.
Oh,
all right,
man.
We're going back to green. Forget it. Okay, Philip Temple's going to get to lead him off here for the first time tonight. He is your leader, and feels like the waste any time. Yeah, he's gone. He gets out to a great start, leaves John Hahn back there fighting with Tim Shinoski.
And I think Shinoski might get the better of him here.
Oh,
a little bit of contact.
Just a little bit, and look at that number 98 SK modified. Yeah, here he comes. And the yellow is back out.
Trying to find it here.
I am too, not sure exactly what happened there. Not sure why we get a yellow flag.
Yeah, maybe something here with Kurt Smith. I'm looking at him now. Gets kind of loose coming out of 2. And I think he got stuck in the wall. And he couldn't back out of it.
And Kurt was involved in that last caution flag with Chip Dickert. Oh, and he spins it coming off of 2. And I think you're right. He might have planted it.
Or no. I don't think he got stuck. I think he decided to go ahead and try to as quickly take a toe as he can to prevent a caution. And it just didn't happen fast enough. He was too much in the racing line.
Right. Well, he tried to prevent the caution.
He did.
So for that, we're going to give him. We'll give him an A for effort. Okay. All right. Let's run down the field here because we have 35 laps to go. You never know when this may be the last caution. This very well could be it. Who knows? So let's run it down for you. Phil Temples is your leader. Tim Shinaski works himself up to the front. John Hine in 3rd. J.R. Shepard in 4th. He'll be starting on the outside. Jeff Kendrick in 5th. Brian Dean back to 6th. Jeff Sharp in 7th. Dustin Powers in 8th. John Holcomb in 9th. And Lowell sitting there in 10th. That could be the poll for next week. We'll see. Detzler sitting there in 11th, and Chip Dickert is back on the track now in 12th.
Well, in 12th position, but also 4 laps down, unfortunately. So it's in fact he's the only car. Well, I think you got 11 cars on the lead lap. Then the next car is Chip Dickert, 4 laps down. So
right.
Nobody a lap down at this point.
He's going to get a wave around right here, so he'll get one more back. And this time here around as the cars come out of turn 4, looks like the lights will go off and they'll get ready to go racing again here. And there we go. Just as I suspected, this should be good. Shinaski, Temples, from the point, those two have been battling hard this evening. Both of them kind of had the same journey up through the field. How will they restart? We're going to find out now. Pace car getting ready to peel off. Once again, expect Phil to get right on the hammer. He does. Out of 4, across the line. Phil Temples with another great start. Shinaski in his lane, clearing John Hine. Here comes J.R. Shepard. Yeah, nice run there off the turn for Phil Temples.
You know, one thing that these cautions here as of late since Philip Temples took the lead, that it's kind of helped doing is these cautions have helped cool down his tires, and that might be his saving grace here in the later stages of this race.
Well, we are definitely in the later stages of this race with 30 laps to go. He does need to maybe conserve a little bit in those tires, but J.R. Shepard is close. He's in his mirror. You can probably see him back there floating around. He knows he needs to stay on it and stay focused and try and keep it off the wall, Phil.
Yeah, so far, ever since he took the lead, he's been doing pretty good at that part. But don't look now. Shinaski's starting to gain on him here a little bit.
Yeah, and back through the field, though, we still got some really, really good battles. Watching Jeff Sharp and Dustin Powers go at it right now. Powers trying to work this top side a little bit. And he really gets a nice run off the turn there. Able to hang with Jeff Sharp. John Holcomb in that picture. Oh, and just as I say that, Powers is up on the wall. Climbs it a little bit. Going to lose a little bit of momentum off of 4.
Ooh, Shinaski here, battle for the lead. Dives to the inside of Philip Temples. Can't do anything with it. Can't make it stick.
Phil having a great run here. Got to be a little defensive too. Can't just let him take it.
Yeah, that almost cost Shinaski second place as John Hine got a pretty good run on him at the same time.
Yeah, don't give up on John Hine, man. I do like the way he's running tonight. John looking for his first win here in the Bootleg Racing League. He's got it within his grasp. Now Shinaski really, really working on Phil Temples. Shinaski going back to working the lower line.
brushes the wall just a touch, but I think he kept the lead that lap by 0.09 of a second.
Man, these guys putting on one heck of a show tonight. Shinosky going to drop back to the bottom, going into one. They're going to be side by side. And Phil just keeps getting the run off the top. It's a little bit better. I think the car's a little bit more free up there. He's able to, run it out as far as he can, and that gives him the momentum. I think Tim is scuffing off a little speed down there. Man, he's, best thing Tim could do is be to try and get in behind him right now and maybe try to get to the outside of Phil Temples if he can. He's going to try and make it work here on the bottom again.
I'm going to give you a different scenario that might be the best case, and it's what you almost saw a couple laps ago when I had to cut to. Oh, Phil Temples gets a little bit loose. He gets wobbly. He's going to lose the lead to Tim Shinosky. He's going to try to fight back here on the outside, though.
Yeah, Tim gets up there, breaks his momentum. It's a good move by Tim. Oh, and Tim loses it.
Oh, 3 wide for the lead. They're all sliding.
It didn't work out. That did not work out.
Oh, and J.R. Shepherd's around too. Big mess in the back.
Oh, boy. Wow, wow, wow. Didn't expect that, buddy. Did not expect that. But, they tried to make it 3 wide coming off of turn 4, and all heck kind of broke loose. You see Temples there in the middle, Shinosky on the outside.
Shinosky ended up being the big loser in that.
Yeah. All right, so here's a great view. Look at it over top here. Phil Temple's up there in the green and blue white car.
Looks like he got loose on him a little bit, and then John Hine and both him and they all 3 of them had the same idea at the same time, and you're not going to fit 3 cars in the racetrack right there.
Yeah, and for Shinosky, that was a critical hit because the car was smoking really bad. He had to go in and get his fast repair. Apparently, J.R. Shepherd did not incur that much damage. He stays on the track. Well, this just got interesting. Here's the replay on board with Ryan Detzler. Let's see him get his way through this, and not quite. A little bit of contact there. Oh. And that wasn't a real good fun ride there for Dustin Powers, unfortunately. He picks up a little bit more damage.
It was that secondary hit too into the inside wall that did a lot more. That did quite a bit of damage to him too. So, man, that shakes up your top half of the field for sure, with the exception of John Hine and Philip Temples up front.
And we're going to restart this race. Adam, I don't know if you looked at how many laps we have left, but we're going to restart this race, I think, with about 11 to go. John Hine, again, look, as I said a moment ago, looking for his first win here in the Bootleg Racing League. He's going to get to restart this from the point.
And you got Tim Shinosky back there, still in 6th. We know he has a car, and he might just have just enough time to try to get back up there and make a play on something too. So don't count him out just yet either.
He's going to have to get around Jeff Sharp to do it, though. And I don't know. Jeff's awful good. Well, here we go. They are lined up, ready to go. The pace car getting ready to come off the track. Let's see how Hine gets this restarted. Slow, very slow, and then he's gone. Hine
good
holds
jump.
him up. It was a good jump there by Hine, and boy, what a run off the turn by Phil Temples. Here he comes. It's a mad scramble behind the front 2. J.R. Shepherd there in 3rd. There's Shinosky. He's in 5th. Still working that same line up top. John Hine up here, digging right now. I mean, really digging. He knows what's at stake here. He's got Phil Temples behind him. Got a feeling he's learned a few things this evening. If he's smart, he'll try to break the momentum of these drivers. And
Philip it back in the wall.
Yeah, man. Gonna have to get him a Gifford Hill sponsorship. Oh, in trouble behind. Detzler up in the wall. Makes contact with Lowell Jewell.
We gonna have another caution, or is it gonna stay free? Wow, we got a car backwards, but Ryan Detzler's backwards on the track right now.
And
now
there
the
it
caution
is.
comes out.
There it is. The caution is out. Detzler not able to get his car off the track. Let's see what happened here. Oh, was that contact with the back of Shinosky, I guess. And that sent him around. Shinosky able to hang on to it. Let's go on the replay here. There's on board with Shinosky. Looking at his back window. Oh, yeah. Detzler makes a run at him there, and contact gets him around. Shinosky able to continue, and then Detzler had serious trouble trying to get the car restarted there at the bottom. He was trying to make sure he was clear and letting everybody by. Finally, though, the caution flag does come out, as it should have. Wow. Now, Adam, we've got a real situation on our hands here. We're going to get to restart this race, but I think we're probably looking at a green checker, maybe a green-white checker.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, maybe about 3 laps to go, maybe when we take the green flag here. And, I've got to say, Philip Temples, on that last restart, he just could never get any momentum going. And I think right now, if John Hine can get a good jump here on this restart, it's going to be his race to lose.
I think if John can start this race the same way he did after that last caution, that was a perfect restart. I really, really liked what he did there. If you're trying to win this race, maybe slowing those guys down a little bit behind you, not a bad idea. Now, he didn't brake check it, but he was slow, nice.
Yeah, he wasn't in any hurry.
There. Yeah, he wasn't in any hurry. And then he got to it, got the jump, and was clear. Phil's got his work cut out for him here. He really, really does. But he does get the start from the outside, and that's where he's been strong tonight. Chip Dickert going around, getting that wave around.
The light's still on the pace car, so we'll come to 3 to go. So maybe we should be able to get it here at 2 to go, and so that would be a green-white checker finish.
Yep. That's the best we can ask for. Best we can ask for, and yes, the lights are out. Ooh, Adam, this is going to be fun, buddy.
I think so, and like I said, John Hine can get a start, but one thing that John Hine does not want to have is Philip Temples on his outside going into turn 1 on this restart here. He's going to have to get a good jump.
John Hine's going to earn this one tonight, I guarantee you. If he can win this, he's going to earn it.
Don't forget, you got Jeff Sharp and J.R. Shepard back there, too.
He's off. Pace car's off. There he goes. Hine, away. Off to the races, as they say. Here comes Philip Temples up on the outside. He gets an awesome
run.
Oof. Can't pull it off, though. Can't close the door on Hine. Still work to do there up top.
He going to take the lead going to the white flag.
Oh, boy.
Oh, John Hine drifts high.
Contact. Oh! They're rubbing Nerf bars.
Philip Temples is still fighting back. Can he have any momentum?
There we go. John Hine, your winner. Here at the Outlaw 100, John Hine gets the victory. J.R. Shepard is going to wind up second. Jeff Sharp in the third place, and Philip Temples, that contacted with the wall, it killed him all night, and it relegates him to fourth place. Wow, Shinosky going to round out your top 5. What a finish. Man, that was crazy.
Well, he wasn't out here for points, and he threw that thing into 4, giving it the best shot he got to get the momentum on the outside, and it just wasn't there for him. Still managed to come home with a 4th place finish, though.
We're replaying that restart now. There's Phil working on the top side. Hine, just a great run down below, but Phil really got restarted well. It really looked like he had him, Adam.
I was thinking he might there for a little bit, but then 3 and 4 happened here on the white flag lap, and and start having short track bumper banging, and next thing you know, car on the wall.
And boy, Phil pulled that off all night, where he was able to rub that wall and keep going. That time, it actually turned the car. It was the first time all night that he had hit that outside wall, and it turned it. And all that happened right in front of you there. We're going to take a quick break after an exciting finish here at South Boston Speedway with the Bootleg Racing League, the Outlaw Modifieds tonight. We'll be back in just a moment here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Welcome back to Old Sobo here in Virginia. Boy, what a race here. The Outlaw 100 just wrapped up. Let's look at the results of this battle this evening that shows us our first-time winner, John Hine. The big victory this evening over J.R. Shepard, who came from 9th place to finish second. Jeff Sharp with a solid run tonight, finishes third. Phil Temples was fighting for a win and lets it slip out of his fingers there on the last turn. Fourth for Phil. Tim Shanotsky going to wind up fifth. He had a great run this evening. Brian Dean, 6th place for him. Dustin Powers, 7th. Lowell Jewell going to finish 8th this evening. Chip Dickert, 9th. And your pole sitter for next week is going to be Ryan Detzler.
Yeah, coming home in 11th, just outside that that transfer spot or transition spot, or however you want to put it, the top 10 inversion spot. There we go. That's going to be Jeff Kendrick. John Holcomb coming home in 12th. 13th, Kurt Smith. Donnie Moore, tough break. He's going to lose a ton of ground to J.R. Shepard in the point standings after this. 15th is going to belong to David Loomis, and 16th, Matt Hoos.
All right. Well, that is your 16-car field. A really tough break for Donnie Moore this evening, man. That he had a chance to get one up on JR tonight, and it slipped out of his fingers. But let's talk to the winner, John Hine, with a big victory tonight. John, how does it feel to get your first victory in the Bootleg Racing League this evening?
Hasn't sunk in yet, but it was pretty cool.
Man, you beat some tough dudes this evening, man. You had Phil Temples all over you, J.R. Shepard, Jeff Sharp, Tim Shinosky was up there battling. That's those are some guys that have been around here for a long time, and you prevailed. How did you pull this off tonight?
Well, I tell you, first of all, anytime that you're around JR and Philip, you're in the company of some really great drivers, so there's a lot of pressure there just not to mess up. But I just kept the tires under me tonight, and that was definitely the key at the end there.
Well, you get that last restart. We wound up with a green-white checker there at the end. Philip Temple sure tried to make it interesting. How secure did you feel about finishing those last 2 laps out for the victory?
Well, once he got to the side of me, any security I had went right out the window. But I drove it really hard and into the corner, and I washed up, and then we made contact. And man, I really, really hated that. I apologize to Phil about that, but it all worked out in the end, I guess.
As we start winding down season 3, a victory, obviously it feels great, but that's the type of momentum that can carry you over into the start of next season and really make a run at this championship. You're planning to be back next season.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully I'll be able to get in all the races. Had to miss a couple this season, but next season I'm looking to run them all. And I don't know about a championship, but a top 5 finish in the points I would consider a very good stepping stone.
Well, John, again, congratulations, buddy. I'll give you an opportunity to thank anybody that helped you towards this. Give any shout-outs you'd like to here at this point.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Brantley over at Harpoon's Designs for putting the skin on the car. And Monday night is my wedding anniversary, so I'd like to say hi to my wife, and I guess this probably is going to put me in a good enough mood. I can go down to the flea market and get her something real nice.
Well, congratulations, man. Happy anniversary to you. That's really cool.
Thank you very much. She'll get a kick out of this.
John, does anyone ever confuse you with the Jump the Shark guy?
No. I haven't had that one.
Not familiar with that.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
I have to look it up now, though.
He was the guy that started a website called jumptheshark.com, which somebody bought, and it doesn't own it anymore, but his name is John Hine. So I just wondered if you'd ever gotten confused with that. So there we go. All right. Well, John, hey, we'll see you next week, buddy.
Yeah, thank you very much. You guys have a good evening, and thank Lowell for everything that he does here, and thank you guys for doing outstanding broadcasts every week.
All right. Well, thank you, John. And in fact, we won't see you next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks. That's John Hine. Adam, I'm going to let you talk to the tonight's bridesmaid, J.R. Shepard.
Yeah, he's been able to crank away a few wins here for this season, coming home second here for tonight with that light race action. JR, describe that last restart coming down to the white and then the checkered here for us.
Well, yeah, definitely. With 2 laps to go, I knew that was going to be exciting with Phil up there and then John trying to get his first win. So I was trying to be a little bit cautious, and I thought that they may get together and I may be able to sneak by, but it didn't work out.
Well, one guy that was able to sneak by was you, able to get by without a major incident there, and able to come home with not just a second place finish, but a really good points day. Unfortunately, Donnie Moore having some trouble around the halfway point of the race, and so now you're sitting pretty good for 2 races left in the season.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Donnie. It's not how we wanted the season to end. I mean, I know it's not over, 2 races to go, and I can certainly have a lot of bad luck moving forward, but I was hoping we'd keep it tight for the remaining races, and yeah, that's really unfortunate. And also at the beginning of the race, I got into John Holcomb going into turn 1. I think there was a little bit of a checkup in front of him, and yeah, I didn't catch it in time, so I apologize to him for that.
Well, JR, now now just because it's my job, I've got to ask the question, even though I know the answer because I'm a racer too. But going into the last 2 races, do you start just trying to play it safe for the championship, or are you going to go out and try to win you another 2 races?
Really, I mean, for the first half of the season, I never look at points. So I come here to race and try to have fun, and that's what I'm going to try to do. And I'll still drive hard. And you know, if something bad happens, it happens. But yeah, just here to have fun. And I mean, these guys that we race with every week are a lot of fun to race with. They're really good drivers, and they're tough company. So you can't back off any.
All right, JR. Well, hey, good job on the second place finish here for tonight. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Adam. That was J.R. Shepard. Let's talk to Jeff Sharp. Jeff, congratulations on your podium finish this evening. I don't know if you've looked at the points yet, but man, we've got a real Donnybrook going on here. What a race, buddy.
Thanks, Sean. Yeah, that was some race. That must have been fun to watch.
It really was. Now, Jeff, I'm unofficially, I see you're 4th in points. Our winner this evening, John Hine, with that win, his first win, he's only a point behind you now in 5th. Phil Temple's back there, just 3 points separate you and him, and Dustin Powers only 4 points back. So looks like it's going to be a real slugfest for 4th here in the points, 4th and 5th. Are you up to the challenge, buddy?
Yeah, I hope I don't miss any weeks. I've missed a few races, which really hurt this season, but I'm planning on being here every week.
Man, boy, that race was fun. It was fun to watch. It was fun to call. How much fun was it for you there in the cockpit?
That race was a lot of fun. Both grooves were really good. Neither the bottom or top was that much better. I don't know how Phil was passing everybody on the top. That was amazing with the newer tires.
Yeah, well, you know, we talked to J.R. Shepard before the race, and he called it. He said there was going to be multiple groove racing this evening, and man, there certainly was. That middle groove, of the track really seemed to be running. You know, with these cars running a fixed setup, it made the race down the straightaway very interesting, and you took pretty good advantage there of things at the end and finished 3rd. I'd say that's a pretty good result and good momentum heading in to the next race here in a couple weeks at Lanier. What do you think about your chances there?
I'm excited for it. I like Lanier a lot. I'm going to like the dirt version too when that comes out.
Yeah, big news from iRacing just a couple days ago. In fact, we will be getting a dirt version of Lanier down there in Brazelton, Georgia, so that should be fun. So I'm guessing, based on that answer, you're a big fan of the dirt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my first love.
All right. Well, we hopefully look forward to seeing you on the dirt sometime in the future. But again, congratulations, buddy. Enjoy the break here for Labor Day, and we'll catch up with you when we get to Lanier.
Thanks, Sean. You have a good one.
You too, buddy. And that was Jeff Sharp, our 3rd place finisher tonight. Had a great run, worked his way through the field, came up 9 spots to finish there in 3rd. So for his effort, he's going to get to start a little bit closer up than from where he was tonight, but he'll still be behind a lot of fast drivers in a couple weeks when we get to Lanier. Adam, it's time to put a pretty bow on this one, but how much fun did you have tonight, my friend?
You know, I don't get a chance to do these bootleg races very often, but every time I come and do one of these, it is an absolute blast. These guys put on a pretty good show with great size fields for these type of cars, and tonight at South Boston was no exception.
Well, Adam, thanks a lot for hanging out with us tonight. We also want to thank the Bootleg Racing League for organizing the Outlaw Modified Series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. For more series information about the Bootleg Racing League, try their website, bootlegracingleague.com, or find them at Facebook. You just go over there, type in Bootleg Racing League, all one word, they will pop up for you. The second annual Champions Shootout is coming in September 23rd to be exact, and they've got details on their website. Can't wait to see that. We will be broadcasting it here. The Bootleg Racing League Grand National Series will be making its return on October 20th. We've also got details there at bootlegracingleague.com. This fall, we will have the Grand National Series on Friday nights. We won't be broadcasting that, but they will be running that, and it's an invitational series. All the information you need there is at the website. They'll run between October and March, and we hope to see you there. But we also want to thank the... I'm sorry. Let me stop. Regather here. We will be off next week for Labor Day, and the Outlaws will be back in 2 weeks for GSRC's coverage from Lanier National Speedway in Brazelton, Georgia. Be there with us at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday, September the 9th, for the penultimate round in the Season 3 Championship. Now, for more information about that and other things concerning GSRC, your best bet is globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel, and yes, you can find us on Facebook too, Global Sim Racing Channel. Thanks to the company's equipment and software that you see on your screen now and that we use on our broadcasts. The original music you've heard on today's broadcast is thanks to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them for their really, really cool music. Finally, on behalf of my partner this evening, Adam Young, our director, Joe Peak, and our camera artist, Dougie Beard, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I've put the lock on the gate. We're going to go have fun storming the castle for soup. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.
McGregor.